Today is World Suicide Prevention Day, and Northern Ireland has the unenviable record of the highest suicide rate in Europe. Two local girls, Laurie Brennan and Ashley Kane, have agreed to talk to us here on the Causeway Coast and share their story. Shane Brennan, Laurie's brother, Ashley's fiancé, took his own life just under 2 years ago. Ashley, if I could maybe start with you and take us back to almost 2 years ago to December 2018, and can you remember what happened?
So it was just like a normal Saturday morning. I woke up, my granny had been in hospital, so I'd been staying with her for a couple of nights. And I woke up that morning and I had a couple of missed phone calls and messages from Shane's boss at the time. So I rang him back and it was just, can you get Shane in? I think he slept in or something. So I went up to the house and, as normal, just went in, shouted up the stairs, Shane, get up for your work. Threw the keys down on the bench in the kitchen, and I went to go up the stairs, and unfortunately, that's when I found Shane.
And you were on your own at that time?
Yeah, I was on my own. I After the all of it, I thought to myself, Jesus, what if I had brought our son into the house at that stage? But I was on my own. Yeah.
And Laurie, your memory of that tragic day?
Um, it was the morning time, and my father had obviously been took over to the house to identify Shane's body. And Matthew, my little brother, he had called over to my house and told me that Shane was dead. And at that moment in time, I didn't know the circumstances around it yet. It was only until Ashley came over after that she told me then what had actually happened.
And presumably something like that leaves you completely and utterly stunned in disbelief.
Yeah, definitely, very much so. I think it's the most heartbreaking, soul destroying thing that a sibling and that can go through. Like, Shane was my brother, he was also my best friend, we were very close, and for that, for me to go on and Shane not be with me for the rest of my life's journey and it's very, very hard, but the thing that we have is his memory and photographs and very good memories of our time together.
And you're both clearly still grieving about this whole process. And I know people say things like time helps heal and so on, but I imagine that that's not necessarily the case.
No, especially the circumstances around. We were left with no answers. This was very sudden. We don't believe that Shane was depressed beforehand. So my grief has been a mixture of emotions of anger, guilt, a lot of different things as well. The guilt being that, could I have been a better sister? Why did I not know? I didn't see any signs. There's nightmares when you go to bed at night time. And then there's also the blame as well. Like, I had myself convinced for a very long time that someone had done this to Shane, because I couldn't believe that he would go and leave us. Ashley, his two sons, my mum and dad, me, especially, like, I was only a month off giving birth, and he was so excited to meet his little nephew. And because Shane was born in January and I was due in January, he said that if baby came on his birthday, then that he was going to be called Shane. So he got his wish anyway.
What sort of a guy was he? What sort of a fiancé was he, Ashley?
As soon as I met Shane, you just knew, like, he was the most funniest, caring, kindest, most polite man you'd ever meet in your life. Like, I just couldn't believe how lucky I was to find someone like Shane.
Yeah.
And, like, when we got together, we got together in the March 2015, and by the August we had our own house. And then the following year we were engaged. A lot of people would say maybe things moved too quickly, but it was the perfect timing for us.
And he was a go-ahead young man. He had a bright future. He had a job.
Oh, definitely. Um, a lot of people that you would meet in the town who knew him from being a butcher always said how amazing Shane was, and it's not for it. Definitely is the truth. Um, there's been so many people have said that they can't believe that he's not here anymore, and yeah.
Laurie, as his sister, can I ask you, what has this done to the entire family? What effect has there been?
It has left a massive, massive hole in our hearts and our lives. I don't think that we'll ever really get over the fact that he's not going to be with us anymore. Um, it's something I think when a family has no answers, it's kind of worse. You know, if someone is sick, you know that they're sick and you know their time. But definitely suicide is not. It's not very nice when you don't have answers, and you know us as a family we try look for answers, but there isn't any, really. There isn't any. That's the heartbreaking thing, you know. It's devastation it leaves behind.
Am I right in saying that Shane had shown no signs of anything wrong at all that you're aware of?
No signs at all. Like his job was going great, everything was fine. Ashley and Shane were, getting a new house and things like that. So that was all things, and plus, as I say, my child being born, that was all things to look forward to. His 30th birthday coming up as well. Um, so no, there was absolutely no signs.
If there's someone watching this now, and I'm fully aware you're saying that there were no signs with Shane. If there's someone watching this now and they're feeling maybe just a little bit on edge, or they're maybe in a bit of a dark place, or they're harbouring deep feelings and so on, what would you say to them?
I would say to go and speak to someone as soon as possible. When you know that you feel that you want to harm yourself, please just speak out. Your life matters. You've no idea how your pain of ending will actually pass on to the other people. There's a place called the Butterfly Survivor Centre, which we've raised money for. It's a brilliant drop-in centre for people feeling down, feeling suicidal, self-harm, for bereavement as well. And we encourage people to go there, as there's waiting lists and things like that on the mental health around this area. So that is a positive thing that we have within our community to help people that are feeling this way.
So there's something positive being done in this area, and I wonder, just finally, in a broader sense, is there maybe more that in Northern Ireland that our executive, our government could or should be doing?
Well, actually, me and Ashley, we had took part in a walk. It's called the Darkness into Light, by Peterhouse, and they were actually building facilities for people to go there, and hopefully with COVID and stuff, our last walk was cancelled, but I think they're looking to do the same up north here. Like build more things where people can go and help people that do self-harm and are very down and are suicidal.
Girls, can I thank you both, Laurie and Ashley, very much for talking so openly and so frankly to us today on the Causeway Coast. Thank you both very, very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
much. Thank you.
My thanks to Laurie and Ashley for frankly and openly speaking to me here today. That was not an easy interview to do. And remember that although it's World Suicide Prevention Day today, suicide can be something on someone's mind any day. If you or someone you know may need some help, please talk to someone. This is On the Causeway Coast, and I'm Dennis McNeil.